What's up, everybody? What's up? Back from vacay. What a time to be alive. Yeah. What's up? How's everybody doing today? So, we are going to continue our journey into grammar. We're going to keep talking about it. What's up, everyone? What's up, Sports Show? Justin, Venna, nice. Zach. Rachel with her Spanish. Yeah, dudes. So how was your break? Is everybody doing good? Mine was way too short. Way too short. For real. But we're back on the grind. Time continues moving forward no matter what. I think I just spilled it myself. So, guys, we are going to continue working into grammar today. I have some stuff ready. I have a try hard section for us to do where you can actually see where you guys are at. It's pretty hard, the stuff that we're going to be working on today. So I kind of want to slide into it just so you guys can get used to some of the stuff that we're doing. But let's see. Let me fill this in. Okay, so real quick though, you went to MIT during the break. Isn't that a college? Let's see how the chat's doing today. People who are procrastinating that always cracks me up. People who need to study and who are procrastinating by studying this instead. Well, I mean, I guess at least you're studying. Yeah, NYC, it was great. Totally great. Got sick. Dude, Monday. That's pretty rough to be sick over Christmas like that, to get strep. Yikes. Well, hopefully you were better. Hopefully, at least since you had some time off, you had some time to at least kick it. But we're not kicking it today, okay? This isn't a chill stream. This is a grammar stream. So, contestante en español. Sí. Yo estudio en español todos los días. Okay, so what are we jumping into first? This guy. Look at that. I already have the Spanish geared up. I knew it. I knew it would be. Decama de la sentence structure. It's like I knew. It's like I knew the chat would be looking for Spanish today. So yeah, we're going to talk. We talked briefly the past couple weeks about grammar in general. And I'll go through this pretty quickly, but there's a couple categories that grammar questions go into. The big first split is that about 40% of your grammar questions have a question attached to them. They're going to be like, where should this sentence go? Is this sentence appropriate? What's a good conclusion sentence? So they tell you what you need to be doing. So I actually don't think those are that hard, but we'll go over them, just not right now. 60% of your grammar questions have no question attached to them. There's something like, oh, whoops, let me see if I can pull it up. Something like this, right? Where it's just like, you don't know what they're talking about. You can see that there's a difference in answer choices or whatever, but that is the vast majority, okay? So in that vast majority, there's a couple categories, right? There's verbs, there's transitions, there's pronouns, there's word choice, and what else am I forgetting? I think that's it. The fifth and last is punctuation. And I haven't touched punctuation yet because, dude, it's hard. And we're gonna have a try hard section, so if you're feeling cocky, just hold on for that. So let's talk about punctuation. Specifically today, all we're going to talk about is punctuation and sentence structure. So pretty much just commas, maybe some semicolon stuff like that. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely hit me up, but we're going to cruise straight into this guy. The first thing that you have to know for structure is just, and I've said this a million times, what the base sentence is, and that's going to be a noun that does a verb. There's a couple rules on this. The verb can't be an ing one. Like it can't be swimming. You can't say Ron swimming. That's not a sentence. So that's kind of the first thing you have to recognize. And the noun, that's pretty much it. A noun has to do a verb. That's our sentence. I guess the other exception is if there's a dependent marker, and we're not going to go into what a dependent marker is today, but not dependence, a dependent marker. We're not going to go into what that means today, but just think about the full sentence. I'm running. I am. So think of the full sentence. I sleep, right? If I were to say when I sleep, like logically, you kind of need more information, right? You'd be curious. When I sleep, what happens? You know, you're like setting up something, and that when that you put before the full sentence, I sleep, makes it an incomplete, and it makes it a dependent clause. So these are the only two exceptions to a subject or a noun doing a verb being a sentence. So just keep that in mind. I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about. As far as combining complete sentences, and we've been over this, a dog swims, I am cool, right? That's two complete sentences. You can use a semicolon. You can use that comma fanboy, and you can use different fanboys. It's not a big deal. As long as it kind of makes sense, they're not going to test you on that. The last one would be to combine them with a period, okay? And I'm giving you all these rules because in the try hard section, there will be questions like this. Dude, thanks, Brian. I hope your break was good too, bro. So this is when you have a complete sentence and a complete sentence combining to each other. It can only be a semicolon, a comma fanboy, or a period. That's it. The second concept that we have to talk about is these non-essential modifiers. Bang. So a dog is surrounded by commas. That's a non-essential modifier. That's it. That's a non-essential modifier, so there's that. Keep in mind that the non-essential modifier needs to be near the thing it modifies, but that's a little bit of a word choice thing. We're not going to go into that too much today. What else? We did talk about the dependent clause, so I should probably hit that up. When I sleep, I have fun. Great. That's a sentence. Notice that the dependent clause comes first, and then the actual sentence, I have fun, comes second. Then you need a comma. Whereas if that's orders flipped and the when I sleep is second, we good. That's it. All right, chill. So that is dependent, independent. That's independent, non-essential modifier. Then we also have our adjective usage. Bang. The old smelly bus. So we have two words, smelly and old, describing this bus. The rule for these is if you can put the word and in between, that equals comma. That's it. That's it. So you can look at something like this. The red ice skate. You would not say the red and ice skate. So, but you could say the old and smelly bus. You got 50s in Spanish? Bro, you got to get on that Google Translate. What are you doing? So, okay, great. Is that the last thing that we need to talk about before we actually go into it today? Oh, yeah, lists, right? Like, something like this. Great, so notice that you put the commas between, just between two modifier. What do you mean, Gio? So notice that there's that Oxford comma after the word to, the second item in the list before the and. Now check this out. All right, so what you'll notice is that each item in this list has a comma in it. And so to avoid confusion, rather than having each list item have a little comma and then have another little comma between the list items, if the items in a list have a comma in them, we are going to use a semicolon for the list. Okay. Introductory phrases. Great. So here is that firstly, bang, hit that comma right afterwards, right? And that is an introductory kind of phrase. They call that a sentence adjective, but we can talk about that at a later date. Like you could say, however, I am a happy person. I don't know why I'm such a good mood today. I'm happy to be back, guys. I'm happy to be with you for sure. So that's like an opening word, right? That's like a introductory word, right? I'm not saying however I'm saying however, and then I'm separating that from the sentence, I am a happy person. So that's also why you may see something like this. Like where it's like, all right, so dude, notice on this one how there's that semicolon. That semicolon, however, comma, is just the semicolon is just separating two complete sentences, like we talked at the beginning of the sesh. Ryan is lame, sentence. However, I am a happy person, sentence. And so that's why you see that formation of semicolon, transition word, comma. Pretty rare, but you may see that. And then there's we talked about introductory words, and there's introductory phrases, introductory prepositional phrases. A preposition gives you location. Just think like the rabbit is blank the log, the rabbit is on the log, the rabbit is near the log, the rabbit is under the log. All of those are prepositions. So if I say under the waves, Ryan sees a bottle. Chill. That's a prepositional phrase to start the sentence. Under the waves. Bro, do I not like Ryan? No. Under the waves is 3 words. If that dude is 4 words or greater, then you need a comma. So if I said under the blue waves and change the sentence like that, yeah, I need a comma now. Because now with 4 words or more, that is considered a long prepositional phrase, and you got to smash a comma after that. All right. So I think that's everything that you guys are going to be tested on today. Oh, okay, one more thing, because I did sneak this in, but I want you guys to be aware of it. Sometimes they will do something like this. Yeah, I'm bagging on Ryan again. I don't even know a Ryan. That's so weird. So if they give you something like, actually, how about this? It would be like, no, let me make a different sentence for this. So it would be like, all right, cool. So for something like this, this is a sentence structure question. I live on the ice, comma, the surface is freezing. Now, a lot of people think that the surface is freezing is describing or modifying the way we think about the ice. It could be. If I had the surface freezing, this would be a non-essential modifier. But a complete sentence cannot be a non-essential modifier. So either you need to get rid of this word is to make it a non-complete sentence, or you need to change it so to like a semicolon or something, because they're both complete sentences. All right. That's it. All right. So guys, what'd you think? That was like a an absolute blitz of grammar. I hope you are able to keep up. Now is the time that I'm going to enjoy and sit back and relax for a minute and put on some chill music. Now is the opportunity for you guys to ask me any questions, because in about 3 or 4 minutes, we're going to jump into this try hard. It's 11 questions. It's a full passage, a full SAT grammar passage. Keep in mind, the grammar section has 4 passages of 11 questions each, and this is one passage. All of the questions are punctuation. So, as you guys are getting ready, whoa, a little loud. As you guys are getting ready, now's the time to ask questions. I like flew through that because partly I feel like a lot of people have heard it before, and I didn't want to, be too slow for that. But whatever you guys are feeling, if you guys are feeling good, then just chill for a minute. One thing that you can do during this time, is to go into the chat, if you're ready at least, if you don't have any questions. And I want you to set up in the comment bar this. I want you to write 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right? You see what I'm doing here? I'm not going to send the comment. I'm just going to write the numbers into the comment. And then as you go through this section, you can like plug in your answers. You know what I'm saying? So then you can keep your answers like in front of you. You don't need a piece of paper. It's just grammar. You know what I mean? So it's not like you need like, it's just grammar. It's not like you need a paper anyways. Okay. So let's go into some of these questions I'm getting from, perfect, Hong. So just kind of copy paste what Hong has into your comment. And you don't have to send it, we're going to be spending like 8 minutes on this. So just kind of, you can put your answers in there. Just because last time I did this, I did not let you guys set up. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Gio. Yeah, exactly. All right, semicolons. There are 2 uses for a semicolon. That's it. Either it's separating 2 sentences like exactly like a period. It is exactly like a period. Or it's a list of things with commas in it. Like I showed you, New York, New York has a comma in between. So if that's a list item, you need a semicolon to separate it from other list items. So that's what a semicolon does. Those are only 2 reasons. All right, I feel like everybody is doing pretty good. I think we're gonna jump into the try hard. We're gonna do it, bros. We're gonna do it. All right, hold on a second. Just get a little something to drink. Okay. You guys don't get chill music anymore. Don't get filler beat anymore. Because bros, this is serious. Welcome to the try hard section of today's stream. Get your answers ready to rock. We're going to be going through this. I will be timing you guys. You guys will get a little clock. Where's that little clock? You'll be getting that guy in the corner. All right. So, the writing. Is it ready? The writing is ready. All right. Chill. There's that. Okay. It's like a production, bro. I'm telling you. All right, bros. It's happening. All right, there it is. What a time to be alive. All right, bros. Here we go. Try hard. I need all of these to be correct. All right. Good luck. About 20 seconds left for the first one. Five seconds. Number two. Fifteen seconds left. Five seconds left. Get your answer in. Question number three. Twenty seconds left. Five seconds left. Question number four. About 20 seconds left. About 5 seconds left. Question number five. What's up, Henry? Just start with number five, bro. About 15 seconds left. Five seconds left. Get your answers in. Number 6. Sup, shot. About 15 seconds left. Five seconds. Number 7. Ten seconds left. Okay, next question. Number 8. Twenty seconds left. About 5 seconds left. Okay, put your answers in. Number 9. Twenty seconds left. Five seconds left. Okay, get your answers in. Next question. About 20 seconds left. Five seconds left. And the last question of the passage. $20 seconds. What's up, Tony? What's up, Jupiter? All right. Bros. That's it. You did it. So, what did you think? I'm very interested to see how you guys did. Go ahead and push send on those comments. Let me see what you guys got for answers. I don't have like an answer key in front of me, but I know what all the answers are because says I made it. All right. How great does the screen look though? Like with all this, like the clock going, you got the window for the questions, you got a little chat, you got the over this way, you got the big passage. I mean, the production value only goes up on the stream. And I do it for you guys because you guys deserve it. Even better, you guys earned it. All right, so I got Hong's answers in. Looking pretty good. Like I said, I don't know the right exact, you know. You think you got, I think it's pretty good, but well, we're about to find out. Got Rachel's answers in. You got 3 out of 11. Dude, I got 7-Eleven. Have you guys ever eaten the food at 7-Eleven? Guys get those taquitos. They're always a really good idea, and then they're a bad idea. The chat's delayed, yeah. The chat is mostly blocked. Oh, right. I gotta get rid of these, this question. Where are they? All right, chill. Yeah, the chat is back. Welcome back, chat. Probably all wrong. Yeah, well, I mean, not yeah. Probably not. I mean, I'm sure you didn't do as bad as you think you did. But we're going to go into it anyways. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about these questions that we did. Let's see here. I'll maybe put it like right up there or whatever. The food in 7-Eleven are too unhealthy. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But that's like the whole point is like you go into a 7-Eleven and you're like starving. And you're like, man, I would love some hot food. And then you look at it and you're like, can't be that bad. It always is. It always is. All right, so let's go into these. Let's see how you guys did. If you guys did well, we can claim redemption, but I'm not gonna just claim redemption. Oh, also I gotta hit some buttons really quick. If you haven't already, definitely smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be releasing even more content in 2020. I'm going to spam the internet with content. So yeah, definitely come and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely like the vid if you haven't already. All right, so let's go into it. It's expensive. Dude, I don't know what 7-Eleven you went to, bro. 7-Elevens are pretty cheap. But then again, nothing is cheaper than like a bodega where you can just like give a guy $1, be like, just give me something. So let's see. Let's go into these questions. All right, bruh. All right, so number 1, how's that looking on the screen? Looking horrible. You guys need better than that. All right, here we go. So let's look at this sentence. Guys, what do you think of the... Oh, your answer got blocked? I unblocked you. I just went back into the chat. Dude, my filter is crazy. Kappa just went into effect today. All right. So maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. No, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. All right. So what do you guys think of this passage, by the way? To write this passage, I basically took it from Wikipedia. Don't tell anybody. But I took this passage from Wikipedia. I was like I just clicked the random article button until I got to something that I thought was so boring. I'm like, this is so boring. Dude, your answer got blocked by the chat. No way. I thought I unblocked it already. Yeah, it's up there, dude. Yeah, it was originally blocked, but I unblocked it. It should be up there. Let me make sure. Yeah, you got it. You're in, Gio. You're good. All right, so let's jump into it now. Hampole, is that Hampole or Hampole? It'd be funnier if it was Hampole, but it's probably Hampole. Yeah, the places' names are super hard. Yeah, the filter is really weird. I don't get the filter. Like I look what I like. Obviously, I have like the obvious words in the filter, but like stuff like just gets filtered all the time. It's so weird. Yeah. So Hampole is a small village and civil parish in the metropolitan borough of Doncaster, part of South Yorkshire, England, on the border with West Yorkshire. Okay. So we just need to break it down with sentence structure. Yeah, it's a lot of proper nouns, but sentence structure, bro. Hampole is. That is the first two words of this passage, and that is a complete sentence. Hampole is a small village and civil parish in the. Actually, can I get like a pointer or something? I would love a pointer. But doesn't matter. All right, we'll just do the highlighting. Hampole is a small village. That is a complete sentence. It's a small village and a civil parish. So that's a complete sentence with a branching logic. Hampole is this and this, right? The is the verb and it branches from the is. The is goes to both of those. Now we have a prepositional phrase. In the metropolitan borough of Doncaster. Now, that whole thing still is a complete sentence. We have a verb with split objects, and then we have a prepositional phrase. We're good. I mean, we don't, unless it's a long prepositional phrase to start a sentence, we don't care about prepositional phrases, really. Okay, so then here we go. We have a comma. Part of South Yorkshire, England, on the border with West Yorkshire. So that comma is a little sus after borough of Doncaster, right? The metropolitan borough of Doncaster. Now, if that comma means that it's a non-essential modifier describing the borough of Doncaster, then we're looking pretty good. And if you look at the highlighted section, it's not a complete sentence, so it can't stand on its own. And it does seem to describe the location of Doncaster, or the borough at least. It's part of South Yorkshire, England. Now, the South Yorkshire and England is separated by a comma. So, and we all kind of know England's a country, right? So that is a city, state, or like a state country or whatever. So we need a comma in between them. Now, the question is, do we need a comma after England? Looking through these answer choices, right? We have the metropolitan, this one, part of South Yorkshire, England, comma, but there's no comma in between Yorkshire and England, so that's no good. This one has that comma, but it does not have that non-essential modifier, so it would read Metropolitan Borough of Doncaster, part of South Yorkshire, England. And I doubt that's the full name of the metropolitan borough. The last one is we have our non-essential modifier created, right? We have a comma before part. We have a comma after England. So that means we could lift it out of the sentence. And if we were to lift this out of the sentence, this part right here, and make it a non-essential modifier, would the sentence make sense? Let's read it. Hampole is a small village and civil parish in the metropolitan borough of Doncaster on the border with West Yorkshire. That's it. So we need to make it an entire non-essential modifier for it to work, because it's not England on the border, right? That's not what we are describing. Hopefully that makes sense. So the answer to this one is D. Yeah, 2. Let me make sure the screen is looking good here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We looking good. We looking good. Wait, we're not looking good. Hold on. Where can this go? This needs a place to live. All right. How about that? All right, chill. Okay, cool. So let's look at this next one. Dude, it's hard. It's super hard. I'm giving you high quality content here. This isn't dopey. This is real good stuff. Yeah, you should have gone with D. Should have gone with D, Rachel. What can I say? Next one we have here is the where does the sentence start? Okay. Historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire, the eastern boundary of the parish is marked by the Great North Road. Wow, that is great. And we're still not finished with the sentence. And the parish lies in what was once the Barnsdale Forest. This is the full sentence we need to break down. So we need to look at what is changing between the answer choices here. I noticed that it's a period after Yorkshire. There's a comma after Yorkshire, and there's a comma fanboy after Yorkshire. So look at answer choice B. You see this guy right here? Do you see how it's a period and then the word the? Look at answer choice D. Do you see how it's a comma fanboy and the word the? The fact that B is the exact same thing grammatically as D means that both of them are wrong, because there can't be two right answers. And if it was a complete sentence before Yorkshire and it was a complete sentence after Yorkshire, then B and D would both be right. So for number 2, we can immediately get rid of B and D because they're the exact same sentence structure, where there's a complete sentence before and a complete sentence after Yorkshire. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire, there's no verb there. So because there's no verb there, it's not a complete sentence. This is an introductory phrase. And so you could say it's an introductory phrase. You could say it's a non-essential modifying phrase that modifies the eastern boundary of the parish, right? Because the eastern boundary historically was part of the West Riding of Yorkshire. So we could say that the sentence starts off with a non-essential modifier, and then we do need a comma to separate it, because we're not saying historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire, the eastern boundary of the parish is marked by, I mean, that's just insanity. Historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire is a descriptive phrase to describe the eastern boundary. And because it's a descriptive phrase, we can make it into a non-essential modifier, and that's why we do need that comma. So the number 2 is C. Number 3. Let's see. Can you guys see number 3? Yeah, you guys are fine. And then we have the second part of this sentence, right? So historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire, comma, the eastern boundary of the parish is marked by the Great North Road. Complete sentence. Let's look at everything after the underlined sentence. The parish lies in 1/12 of the Barnsdale Forest. That is a complete sentence. So because of that, when we're looking at number 3 here, we need to, this and, well, we have to ask ourselves, what is the and doing? That and is a fanboy. There's a comma before that fanboy. So that is exactly what we need. We need, because before that comma fanboy, it's a complete sentence. After the comma fanboy, it's a complete sentence. So we do need that fanboy. Notice that B and C are both just transition words. They're not fanboys. You can't just use a random transition word to connect complete sentences. So B and C are incorrect immediately. D makes it a comma splice, because if you get rid of the fanboy, it's just a comma, and you can't combine two complete sentences with just a comma. So the answer to number 3 is A, no change. What's up, Tejas? Next, number 4. Where am I? I'm back in the studio, bro. I'm back. Back in the studio. Number 4, Hampole Railway Station opened in January 1885. Okay, that's a complete sentence. All right, so notice that B here wants us to have a comma fanboy. That might be appropriate, because before, everything before 1885 is complete sentence. Let's look at after the comma fanboy. Closed on 7 January 1952. That is a big verb. What closed? We don't have the noun that we need. So because of that, 4 cannot be B, because that is a comma fanboy. And those two parts of the sentences are not complete. 1885 closed on 7 January 1952. That's pretty solid. That's kind of weird. It says that closed would be like a non-essential modifier for 1885. So that's not great, but it's not the worst. And then D, however closed, that could potentially work as well, but that still has the same problem as C, because it seems to modify the wrong thing. So notice what the sentence is now. Hampole Railway Station opened in January 1885 and closed, right? This is another branching sentence structure. The noun is the Hampole Railway Station. It opened and closed. That's it. So we don't need a comma fanboy. We don't necessarily want to make it a non-essential modifier, because that information seems essential to me. That seems to be an essential part of the sentence. So the answer to number 4 is A, no change. Keep in mind that A is going to be the correct answer 1/4 of the time. Not in this assignment, but generally it is. All right, bro. Yeah, we're in the roaring 20s, bro. All right, so number 5, the parish includes the villages of previously mentioned Hampole, Skelbrook, and Barnsdale. That's a little rough. But yeah, this one's kind of easy. It's just a simple list. We have city, city, and city. And because of that, we do need that Oxford comma after Spellbrook or Skelbrook. And currently there is no Oxford comma there. So we need to adjust that. And the answer choice D, adjust that. It gives us the comma after every list item, including the one before the and. Chill. All right, 3 out of 4 so far. Ooh, that's not bad. That is not bad. These are hard questions, dudes. And you will not find these questions anywhere else. These are like the freshie of the fresh questions, you know? It's like, you know, when you walk into Subway and you can like smell the bread, you can smell the cooking, you know, you can smell the ovens. When you walk into the stream, you can smell those fresh questions. Number 6. Let's see. Make sure it all fits. Nice, looking good. 4 out of 5. Rachel is heating up. I love this too. The Wikipedia just starts throwing in the word A1 road as if it's a thing. By the A1 road near Skelbrook, so that's a non-essential modifier, that's chill, is Robin Hood's Well, with its stone cover designed by John Van Bruch. What a great name, by the way, Van Bruch. Okay, so what we have is a non-essential modifier ending this sentence, and it seems to be modifying our understanding of the Robin Hood's Well. You know, Robin Hood's Well, and then we describe it with its stone cover design, right? So that's looking good. Looking at the answer choices, you guys noticed that I threw that little apostrophe boy in there? See if you guys noticed. So it is is the apostrophe. Without the apostrophe, it's just possessive, and I know it's hard to remember that, but just imagine that apostrophe is the dot on the I for it is. No apostrophe, we chillin'. So do we need to see with it is stone cover? No. So that immediately gets rid of B. It immediately gets rid of D because we don't want the apostrophe. Now, this is a good question. We'll pat myself on the back here. This is a good question because a lot of people, when they get to a question like this, say to me, they go, oh, well, this is a style question. You know, the shorter, the better. Nay, this is a punctuation question. So notice that I pointed out that this stuff in after the comma is a non-essential modifier, right? Non-essential modifiers, bruh, they cannot be complete sentences. Non-essential modifiers, no, cannot be complete sentences. So looking at C, it says its stone cover was designed by John Vabrock or whatever. That would make it a complete sentence. That would make the comma before 6 wrong because you cannot combine 2 complete sentences with a comma. So the answer to number 6 is A, no change. See you, Justin. Take it easy, bro. Yeah, we can do a little math at the end. All right. Next, 7. I like just set up in time before you guys got here. 7. Also, many tourists sightseeing at Little John's Well to the west of Hampole Village. Guys, we talked about this at the beginning of the stream. A basic sentence is a noun that can do a verb. John swims, Jorge runs. But that verb, there's 2 exceptions. It can't be a dependent. You can't be like, when I swim. That's dependent. It's like, when I swim, what? What happens when you swim? You are happy? What happens when you swim? The other exception is if the verb is ing. So, since this is a complete sentence on its own, also many tourists sightseeing at Little John's Well to the west, we have to make this a full sentence because right now it's not. We have a noun, many tourists, sightseeing-ish, but sightseeing can't be the main verb of the sentence. So that's why 7 is incorrect. It's written as a fragment. So B, also many tourists sightseeing, doesn't fix the problem. C does not fix the problem. D fixes the problem because it gives us our verb of are. There are. That's our sentence. And now we can say the object, also many tourists sightseeing at Little John's Well to the west of Hampole Village. So number 7 is D. Excuse me. Number 7 is D. All right, chilling. We cruising. How are you guys doing so far? Are you guys depressed? Are you guys excited? I know that this one was kind of hard, but I know it's kind of fun. You know, you got to challenge yourself a little bit. It doesn't matter, you know. Okay. So check this out. Number 8. Bang. Dude, dang. I'm impressed. If you guys are really getting those scores, that's very, very impressive, actually. These are hard questions. I don't think I'd be able to do these up until pretty recently. All right, so let's look at number 8. Hampole. It lies about 2 miles northwest of the village of Woodlands, England. Next to a brook known as Robin Hood's Brook. Okay. All right, so this a modifying phrase, this next to a brook known as Robin Hood's Brook, is giving us a little bit of information here. We have a complete sentence. Hampole lies about 2 miles northwest of the village of Woodlands, England, right? And then we have a little bit more specific information, ending it with a non-essential modifier. So honestly, that looks good to me as written. You have your comma after Woodlands, and to separate it from England, which we talked about earlier, which is so important. You have this comma to set off this non-essential modifier that describes in greater detail where Hampole is. And just going through the answer choices, why would we put a comma after next? You know what I mean? That makes no sense. We need a comma, and both D and C are wrong because we need a comma to separate Woodlands and England. Yeah. I thought you almost got full score. What do you mean not being able to do it pretty recently? Oh, like understanding the like actual logic behind punctuation. Like I've always just kind of, I know this is horrible, but I've always done punctuation by feel, and I've always been pretty good at it. But it was until recently, like recently as in like 5 years ago, that's recently for an adult. It's like, you know, I got like really hardcore about grammar, and now it's just like, you can't stop me. I can't be stumped. Number 9, Yee. Notable buildings include Grade 2 listed Church of St. Michael and All Angels in Shellbrook, semicolon, Hampole Manor with Hampole Manor Cottage, semicolon, and an 18th century old, red barn on Steep Hill Lane. So this is one of those semicolon usages that I warned you guys about. What we have here is a list, but notice the third item of this list. The third item of this list is an 18th century old, red barn, right? So because a list item has a comma in it, we need to separate our list items with semicolons. And so that semicolon is correct. This semicolon is also correct. The answer for this one is no change. So that's actually good to go as written. The answer to number 8 is no change as well. Letter A. Okay, 10. 10. This is the last paragraph when I was like giving up. Did you notice? In the beginning of the 20th century, Okay, so then we have a bunch of punctuations. Looking at B as written, I didn't talk about dashes today or colons today. I guess I should have. But for colons, there's only one rule, and is that it has to be a complete sentence before the colon. Same thing with dashes. I could be like, I want to go to the beach, dash, Hermosa Beach, right? Whatever. Colons are the same thing as dashes in that way. Dashes have one extra usage, and in the SAT at least, and it's to bracket non-essential modifiers. So none of that's really going on. We don't have a full sentence before the dash. That it would just say in the beginning of the 20th century. That's a prepositional phrase. So that's wrong. Same thing with C. You can't put a period there because it's not a complete sentence before it. D, we have a comma here. Yeah, we need that comma because this is a long prepositional phrase. In, the rabbit is in the log. That is a preposition. It's 1, 2, 3, way longer than 4 words. So we need a comma to round it out. We need a comma to round it out. And that's why the answer to 10 is D, as in donkey. Last one, the absolute last one. He found many surprising results around hand play. I put the comma between many and surprising, hoping that you guys would assume that many and surprising, many and surprising, many, yeah. So many and surprising, many results. Yeah, exactly. So they're not actually. I guess they are technically adjectives. But you have to ask yourself, can you put an and between them? Can you switch the order of them? Those are the two questions you got to ask. I know I just talked about the and one earlier, but would you say he found many and surprising results? Would you say he found surprising many results? Not really. So because of that, we actually don't need a comma. What we're talking about, him finding, is a large quantity, many, of what? Surprising results. Okay, so surprising results is a thing on its own. Many is describing the surprising results. And so we don't need a comma between many and surprising. The last answer for the try hard today is C. That's it. No, not yet. Yeah. All right, so how'd you do? How did you do out of 11? Bad time? Good time? You had so much fun? Oh yeah, that's my keyboard. How was it? Dude, Rachel, are you for real? 10 out of 11? Bruh, that is not bad. That is not bad at all. That's real good, actually. Dude, was it that first one that got you? Well, what did that go to show you, dude? Is that like, you should just trust yourself more. I'm working on some animations for my book. And I'm thinking about using these guys. Do you guys think this would be too unprofessional to have in like a math book? Is to have these guys be like my little mascot or whatever? Let me know, because I'm like kind of joking about using these for a mascot or whatever, but dude, Zach, you got 10 out of 11 too. Dude, that's really good. It's like really good. So dude, if for those of you who got 10 out of 11, like, you just got to do that 4 times and you got yourself a grammar section. His mouth's a little weird. It's okay, we like him. Yeah, should I use it, right? Like, yeah, Venna, I'm thinking about using it, but like, I was showing some people this, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about putting these on the chapters or whatever, and they're like, please don't do that. Which kind of makes me want to do it more, because when someone tells me not to do something, I'm like, all right, watch me. Can we do math? Yeah, we can use math. What do you want to work on today, Tony? Is there anything in specific that you want to talk about? We can talk about whatever, you know what I mean? But like, if there's something you want to talk about, we can do it. Watch you selling one book on store and going bankrupt. Yeah. No, this is like a like jellyfish. Like a really angry jellyfish. And he's like stuck in a fish tank, you know what I mean? Okay, that's good to know, Zach. Mixture present problems. We could do that. We could do that. Inequalities. We could do some inequalities too. Let me think of a good problem then. Be like that. Oh, okay. It would be like a... That'll be... Okay. This is going to be a hard question, guys, so be on the lookout. Actually, let me throw you guys on the weight screen. BRB. We're back. Here's the question. Got the 2 beats going at once, man. It's a little much. All right. I messed up, but then I didn't mess up, so I had to put it back. Okay, so here we go. I will read this to you. I have 20 gallons of 5% juice mix. I want to add an amount of 75% juice mix to raise the first mix to 25%. How many gallons of 75% do I add to my initial 20 gallons? That's the question. Hard question. I will give you a minute and a half. Let's go. Is this a super stream? Maybe, man. I don't know. I'm just grinding. About 30 seconds left, 45 seconds left. All right, 15 seconds left. Okay. Any other answers coming into the chat? This is a hard question. It's because it's like one of those that they don't really. It's not so relevant that they always teach this in class or whatever. Yeah, well, we'll go over 'em, dude. Once you see how to do this, you'll be like, bruh. Yeah, that's like a hard actual line to kind of keep though, Rachel, because like questioning yourself at some point is actually a good thing. To be like, oh wait, am I actually doing this right? But like over questioning yourself is a bad thing, obviously, right? If you like only question yourself, you don't have any confidence. And the real answer is like you got to find that like balance, you know what I mean? Like you can't just commit to doing one or commit to doing the other. You got to like find that, what do they call it? The jazz musicians, you got to find the cut. You got to find that like spot. Okay, Shad's in here too. All right, chill. All right, cool. So let's go over how to do this, and like let's just talk about this kind of in a there's two ways you can kind of think about this, I guess is what I'm getting at. The first way is like the dumb way, and we'll do that second. The kind of more fancy way is the algebraic way. Okay, so we know that, let's just look at this first mix, right? It's 20 gallons and it's going to be 5% juice. So that means that 1 gallon of that 20 gallons is juice, right? So we want this, we're going to be adding in a certain gallonage, right? So let's see here. So we know that the 20 gallons plus however many gallons of new juice that we put in is going to be equal, it's going to be added up here. Let me zoom in. And that will equal 4 times as much as the 1 gallon of juice. And every time we add a gallon X of the 75%, we are adding 75% of it to be juice. Okay, so what this equation says is however many gallons is here, this needs to be 1/4 of this, right? So breaking down this algebra, subtracting an X from each side, subtracting a 4 from each side. Boom. That's how many gallons of the 75% mix we need. That'd be Shad, that'd be Rachel. So the dumb way, which is, I say the dumb way, but I don't mean that. I mean just like the very practical way to think about this is we got 20 gallons of juice and we have one actual pure gallon of juice in this 20 gallon of liquid. Now, if we were to add 4 gallons of this 75 mix, we'd be adding 4 gallons here, 3 gallons here. We'd end up with 24 gallons here and with 4 gallons here. Right now, this is a 1-to-6, right? This would be like an 18% or whatever. So add another 4 gallons. We're going to add another 4 gallons here, go 28. And of those 4 gallons, 3 of them are going to be a pure juice, and we get that 7. And here is that 4-to-1, 25% that we were looking for, 7 gallons of juice inside of 28 gallons of liquid. So that's how this one goes down. Does that make sense to you guys? Either of these methods kind of work. You can either just like raw, just kind of punch it through, or you could use the algebraic way to kind of, I don't know, catch this. Yeah. And to explain this algebra equation, because I think it might throw some people a little bit, because I jumped straight into when we're adding the juice, right? This is our 25%, this 4. If I were to write an algebraic equation for this, we know that it's a 5%. So I could say, what's 5%? 1/20th? So I could say 1/20th, the amount of 20 equals the total number of juice, which is 1 gallon, obviously. So this would be the equation for before we add anything. But obviously, once we start adding the new mixture, the way that those juice to water things changes. Okay, so I think I did not clarify this well enough. I didn't teach this well enough. That's on me. Let me see if I can explain this one more time in a way that's a little bit easier to understand here. All right. Okay, cool. So we need to establish the relationship between the juice or the number of liquid, like the total number of liquid we have, and the number of juice that's within that. So this juice, this 5% juice that we have, the way that we can represent this 5% juice is by saying the total number of liquid, or actually, let me even just draw that a full equation first. We have total liquid, okay, times the percentage of juice equals gallons of juice. Okay, hopefully this makes sense, this equation. The total liquid times the percentage that it is equals however many gallons of juice in it. So this 5% would be the total liquid, 20, times that 5%, or that 5 over 100, equals the gallons of juice. And if we do this multiplication, we know that there's 1 gallon of juice in there. Okay, so we're going to set up our next equation. Now, when we start adding juice to the vat or whatever, there's already 20 gallons straight up in there. But we're going to start adding juice to the vat, and we're going to call that X. Now, we know that our end result is going to be 25%. So we could just say times a 1/4, and that's going to equal the amount of juice that's inside there. But we need the amount of juice that's inside there to be reflectant of what we added right here, right? Because we don't necessarily know how much juice is inside there because we don't know how many gallons we added, right? If we add 1,000,000 gallons of this mixture, there's going to be a ton of juice in there. So we have to talk about the first gallon of juice that we have from this original 5-gallon, plus every gallon that we add of this, 3/4 of that is going to go towards this number. All right, so this is it. Get rid of that. Did I make it better or did I make it way worse? Hopefully I made it better. If not, whatever. You guys will have an opportunity to do a redemption on this one. I feel it. I feel it coming up. I feel it in my bones. I feel the redemption coming. All right. So let me put another problem together for you guys to chew on. Hopefully this one will come a little bit easier because, yeah, if you guys don't want to do the algebra, just kind of start figuring out how much you should be adding and what that does to the total. A little bit better. Okay, so why is it not 3/4? Why 3/4 X? Oh, right, it should be 3/4 X. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, exactly. It should be 3/4 X because however many gallons we're adding to the total, right? 3/4 of that is going to be straight juice, bruh. So that's straight juice, bruh. All right, so let me get this last question. And dudes, this is my last piece of paper. That's it. So, not saying the stream's got to end, but you know, sometimes it's meant to be. You know what I mean? All right, so let me see if I can come up with a hard one for you guys. I'll be right back. Go grab a drink. Go grab some pencils. Chill. Oh, I still got the timer up here. That's so funny. I didn't remember I did that. I used to do that all the time, bros. Blast in the past. All right. So, I don't know why it looks like yellow. I don't know what's going on with my screen. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to do this one. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. That's Tej. All right, so let's get it. Tej has 60 gallons of 33% petrol. He wants to add some 10% petrol mix so that he can sell a 24% petrol mix. How many gallons of 10% did he add? Okay, another minute and a half. That's funny, Leo. See if you can like just pound it through. Like just see if you can spatially kind of figure this out. 1 minute left, guys. We will go over this one. We will. Maybe it won't be the redemption we want, but it's the redemption we deserve. 20 seconds. Okay. That is time. Wow. Wow. All right. Well, um we'll go over this. How about that? We will go over this. So never fear. If you're confused, we will talk about this one. Okay. So like I said before, there's two ways to do these problems. There's the let me just pound my way through it, and then there's the relating, right? The equation that we talked about, which is this equation is the total mix times the percentage equals the amount of good stuff. All right. So that is kind of our equation that we're going to be playing with. The total mix times the percentage equals the amount of good stuff. Our total mix originally is 60. Our percentage is 33%, which is 33 over 100. And that equals about 20 gallons of petrol inside of that 60-gallon drum. So that's great. That's really good to know. We now know how much good stuff we have in there. We now know how much total we have in there. Tony's coming with 14. I'll put that answer down. I'll put it over there. So now we need to talk about what we're adding here. Now, our total mix, we're going to just be adding gallons. And keep in mind, I'm going to say that X equals the gallons of 10% mix. Okay. So we have that 60 gallons. We're going to add however much we add, and the end result, hopefully, is going to be a 24%. So 24 over 100. That's a 24. 24 over 100. I know I could reduce that, but I don't care. And that's going to equal the amount of good stuff. Now, we started with 20 gallons of good stuff. Every gallon that we add of this 10% mix, we're going to be adding a tenth of a gallon to the good stuff. And then, yes, of course, don't forget that X. So that's the equation. Let me rewrite it so it doesn't look total trash. 1250 to 625. So I'll just put a 625 over here. Equals 20 plus 1 over 10x. All right, chill. So that is the equation that we're working with. This guy right here. Hopefully this makes sense. It's the exact same equation as this, right? It's the exact same equation as that. So, I mean, I trust that my chat could solve this algebra from here. We'll go into it. We'll do it anyways. It's gonna stink, but we'll do it. We'll do it anyways. This stinks. So I don't want to do this. So I wish I had my calculator with me, but I don't. All right, whatever. So this 6 over 25 can be reduced to, God, it can't be 1/4, so I don't even want to reduce that. Gosh, this is just so great. Let me just change it to back to a 24 over 100 times 60 plus x, of course. That's going to be over that, get rid of that, get rid of that. 6 times 24, that can be a 3, and this can now be a 5. 24, so that'd be 70, 60, yeah, it would be 72 over 5. So 72 over 5 plus 24 over 100x equals 20 plus 110x. All right, so that is our equation that we're messing with as of now. Yeah, Rachel, I'm feeling that pain hard now too. I'm just like, I don't want to do fractions. What are you talking about? In fact, I probably shouldn't do fractions, but I don't care. It's too late. It's too late down the road here. So let's move all of our x's to one side. I'm going to move this 1/10 over here. So we have 72 over 5 plus 24 over 100x minus, I'm going to say 10 over 100x equals 20. Now I need to subtract this 72 over 5. So this would be 14 over 100. X equals, we could make that 100. So 100 over 5 minus 72 over 5. So what a time to be alive. 14, this can be reduced to 7 over 50x equals, what would this be, 28 over 5. All right, wow. Cross multiplying, 35, that would be an x, equals 28 times 50. What a time to be alive, 28, 0, 0, 40, 10, 14. This is looking really good, bros. 1,400 divided by 35. SHSAT, take it easy, bro. 14.4. You also got that, Benna? All right, let's chill. So 1,400 divided by 35. They both have 7s in them, so I'm optimistic. This could go four times for 12, 4, 30. No, that's too much. 12, 13, 14, 15. Dang. So it needs to go 3 times. 15, 9, 10. Oh, it was 4. Duh. 4D, because that's a 35. All right. So X equals 40. All right. X equals 40. This division works out. X equals 40. So we know we're going to be dumping in 40 gallons of this 10% mixture. That's it. We're adding 40 gallons. That's it, bros. And that is the algebraic way to do this. If that confuses you, dude, may I introduce you to the dumb way to do this? So that is the initial mix. We got 60 gallons, and of that 60 gallons, 20 of it is petrol. That's a 1/3 mix. So every time we add, we're going to be adding this 10% mix. So why not add 10 gallons at a time? So I can add 10 gallons here, and it's going to get me 70 gallons total. And since it's a 10% mix, when I add 10 gallons of that 10% mix, yeah, we're going to add 1 over here. So 21 and 70, not yet. We're going to do it again. And again. And again. That's it. Once we add enough 10% mixture to get the mixture up to 100 gallons, then we will have 24 gallons of good stuff, and that is a 24% mix. So this is the dumb way to do it. If you go too far, like let's say you're adding 20 each time, and so you add 20 to here, and you end up getting 110 and 20, it'd be 25. This is too small. This is less than 25%. So you know you went too far. That is one way that you can do it, especially with multiple choice. So yeah, that's how these questions go down. Very hard questions. Maybe I should do like a stream pretty soon to talk about these guys, because they're hard. They're difficult questions. I give you that, bros. Okay, so if there's anything else you guys want to work on, is there anything in your heart of hearts that you need? Is there any life advice you've been desiring? Any general like car advice, things of that nature. See you, Leo. Yeah, we're closing out too here, bro. We are. It is almost that time. What a time to be alive. That's exactly it, dude. All right. This is it, bros. This is the last piece of paper that I have. So these mascots, dude, I'm deciding whether I want to use them for my book or not. People told me it doesn't look professional enough, but that kind of makes me want to use them more. You guys know it. You guys know it. You guys check the time. It's time for the iconic ending. Enjoy your evenings. Get cozy. Relax. Yeah. We will talk more about these percentage problems this week. I will think of a better way to explain them, because it's not that you guys can't get them. I just need to explain it a little bit better. So I will do that. But yes, also don't forget the grammar work we did today. We will be continuing. The goal for this page, this channel, is to get all the topics of the SAT in here. So I got to keep grinding on grammar a little bit. Good luck with your midterms, Venna. That's really whack. Good luck with it, though. Yeah. All right, bros. I'm going to go get some pizza. Yeah, it's going to happen. All right, guys. Take care. See you tomorrow.